Edmonton Oilers 6, Nashville Predators 3. Welcome back to the day after reaction with myself, Wise, Coombsy, and we are at the game 30 mark of the NHL season for the Edmonton Oilers. Cam, just give me your overall thoughts in that game because it was a bit of a shaky start.
Yeah, it was a kind of an awkward start. Jack Campbell makes his first start in Edmonton's net in almost 2 weeks and then allows a goal almost immediately. But then to his credit, he kind of bared down after that, only allowed two more the rest of the way. I think that's kind of what you're hoping for from Jack Campbell in his return to the net. I don't think anybody was sitting there thinking, okay, this guy's going to come in his first time in 2 weeks. It's been a rough start, but he's going to post a shutout and the Oilers are going to win the game 1-0. I think it was a nice opportunity to get him back into the net because they're going up against a team they always beat, the Nashville Predators. It's just at this point, it almost feels like an automatic win for the Oilers. So it was the perfect time to get him back in net, and hopefully this is the start of a good groove for him.
No, 100%. And after that first goal went in, there was the first shot of the game. And people on social media were like, oh God, here we go again with Jack Campbell. But I thought throughout the game, he did kind of buckle down and he had a solid game and he still got criticized because he let in 2 extra goals. I thought overall he played a good game and people were saying, oh, but you shouldn't be having to score 5 goals to just get 1 win because you're a goaltender. Like, how would you respond to that?
I don't know. I mean, you can take a glass half full or a glass half empty approach with this. He allowed 3 goals. Generally, if your goalie allows 3 or fewer goals, you have a pretty good chance to win the game. The Oilers have an above average offense when they're fully healthy, when fully clicking. They're an elite offense. So I mean, Jack Campbell allowing 3 goals is fine. It wasn't a spectacular performance. He wasn't amazing. He wasn't one of the 3 stars, but he did enough for the team to win. And that's what you want right now. At some point, we'd love to see him heat up and play like a $5 million goalie. We'd love to see him have stretches where, he's making 40 saves and he steals a win, but maybe that's just not where we're at right now. And like I said before, it's just like a nice step in the right direction.
And this, I think, might open up a larger conversation, but it's like, goal scoring throughout the National Hockey League has gone up. A lot of the top goaltenders around the NHL don't have the prettiest numbers. I think Igor Shesterkin's numbers have been kind of not the same as last season. So it's not just Jack Campbell who struggled this year. I know Jack Campbell's obviously going to get a lot of criticism. Edmonton's starter, right? So, but let's just get to the game real quick. Leon Draisaitl, mayor of Nashville, maybe the governor of Tennessee now.
Yeah, that's pretty much the story of this is he has another 5-point performance against Nashville, and he's now got 35 points against the Predators over 22 career games all told, which is insane. It's a weird thing. You think there's players who dominate certain teams. It kind of just is a thing, but the Predators aren't just some like scrub ass team. This isn't the Arizona Coyotes. This is a team that frequently has goalies who are elite. They frequently have a very strong blue line. Like think back to the goalies that Leon Draisaitl has been scoring on, UC Saros, Pekka Rinne. Like this is a same thing. Like Nashville's always notorious for having a strong blue line. It might not be the case right now. It's not the same as the Shea Weber, Ryan Suter days, but it's still they're in the top third in the league in goals against, and he just makes it look easy against them. It's honestly really shocking.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the standings here. If you look at the teams that have allowed the least amount of goals in the NHL, I can't find the Nashville Predator.
Nashville now rank 11th in the league in goals against, but coming into the game, I wrote this in the pregame stuff on the website, was they were right in the top 10. So the Oilers knocked them out of the top 10 in goals against with that 6-goal performance. And Nashville this season, they've only allowed more than 5 goals in a game twice this year in all of their games, and both of them are against the Oilers. It was 7 goals for and 6 goals for. So we'll see when they play each other next week if the Oilers can pop off again and do like 8 or 9 or something like that.
They're going to have to put a plan in place to stop Leon Draisaitl or even Connor McDavid, considering that 1 goal he scored. I think there was so many goals in this game. He essentially just walked through the defense. We've seen that millions of times, and Connor McDavid always tends to take your breath away.
Yeah, and also another funny thing is we're talking so much about Leon Draisaitl and his dominance of Nashville. We don't even mention that Zach Hyman scored the first hat trick of his NHL career.
Yes,
there's so many things from this game to pick up on, and it's insane. It's stunning to see the Oilers have this much success against a team that's solid. Like last time the Nashville Predators beat the Oilers in a game, you have to go back to February of 2019. So there was in the 2019-20 season, the Oilers beat them in all 3 of their games. And then the 2021 COVID season with the All-Canadian division, they didn't play each other. And then last season, it was another sweep by the Oilers, 3 games. And if they win in Nashville on Monday, it'll be the 3rd season in a row they've won all 3 games against the Predators. And I truly cannot remember a stretch that the Oilers have had against an
True.
opponent this good. I honestly can't.
Yeah, you got a good point there. Just any final thoughts to wrap it up here?
I just wish the Oilers and Predators could play each other more often. It's a shame they only meet 3 times a year. I wish they could
Yeah.
meet 9 or 10 times.
I wouldn't mind doing another nation vacation in Nashville. We went there last
Seriously,
April. It was super enjoyable. Luckily, we got Vegas coming up here soon.
right?
The one thing I kind of want to note is that I find it interesting whenever the Oilers lose, there's always so much worry, so much panic. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, this is it. Trade this guy." But when we win, it's just all positive storylines. It's interesting.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's this is a fan base, and I think you can say this for a lot of the Canadian franchises, but it's especially the case here, is that people live and die in the moment here. If there's
Mm-hmm.
things that are going bad in the moment, there's genuine concern they're never going to get good again. But then as soon as things go good, then there's a lot of optimism. Things are never going to go bad again. I think, I mean, it's a fun way to enjoy sports. It's a roller
Yes.
coaster ride, but I think the lesson to be learned from watching many years of this sport is there's a lot of randomness from game to game, and
Yeah.
you can't really draw too many conclusions from just one game.
I think if anything, what I've learned is from especially last year is I'm not gonna panic until it's March, April.
Exactly.
It's we went on 6 game losing streaks and still got second in the Pacific. So I think that's gonna wrap it up here for the day after the action. Myself, Wise, Coombsy, thank you for joining me today,
Best wishes.
and best wishes. Take care.